J. Albert Adams left a legacy in Annapolis. J. Albert Adams was born in 1869, possibly in Charles County. He was listed in 1870 census, less than 1 year old, living in Main Street in Annapolis with his family. His father, George, was a blacksmith. J. Albert Adams became his father's apprentice at a young age. We do not have records starting how J. Albert Adams acquired his wealth, but he was very successful in Annapolis. On June 12, 1900, at the age of 31, he bought his first house on the corner of Morris and 2nd Street, known as Lafayette Street. Soon after purchasing this house on July 4, 1900, he married Lydia V. Richardson, and they moved into a different home at 34 Calvary Street. Adams was an extremely busy man during the first decade of the 1900s. He owned a saloon between 1910 and 1921, located on Clay Street and Washington Street. City's Records says that he was in the business with a Jewish family. He bought 29 different properties from Charles County to West River to Annapolis. The most significant of these was the property he purchased on north side on College Creek, which was then called Dorsey Creek. This extended north to the shoreline of Annapolis and Elk Ridge Railroad. He bought the property where our schools presently stand from Dennis Miller. The piece of land became known as Adams Park and sometimes Adams Grove by the locals. The railroad tracks, the Annapolis and Elk Ridge shoreline tracks, are still located on the property to this day. We also have other venues on our property here at our school. It is the Ecology Center, other historical monuments from African American history in Annapolis. Adams was very involved in education of black children. J. Albert Adams deserves to be recognized for everything he has done for Annapolis and the capital of Maryland. Every day he broke racial barriers that were placed on African Americans to prove he believed in what he felt was right, no matter what the cost was. Others thought J. Albert Adams was a proud advocate for education of African American children, even though he had no children of his own. On December 3, 1918, Adams became one of the 3 appointed trustees at the Stanton Colored School on West Washington Street. He also an alderman after receiving approval from the Anne Arundel County Board of Education. The Anne Arundel Learning Center, formerly Adams Park Elementary School, renamed the J. Albert Academies at Adams Park. Without the dedication and generosity of J. Albert Adams, our school would not exist today. It is because of Adams' hard work, his contribution to society, and involvement in education that we have our school today. We want to respectfully remember J. Albert Adams for his hard work and contribute to society, his involvement in education and his legacy, and we will work towards perpetuating for his change by writing letters and meeting with the power that be to make our school name change happen. We do this all to honor Mr. James Albert Adams. Now let's go further into details of J. Albert Adams' history as a businessman in the Annapolis area. He was extremely motivated as he was a man of many trades. A talented and strong businessman, he wore many hats. For instance, he was also an undertaker. He went to Barnes School of Embalming in Boston and returned to open his funeral home business on Calvary Street. In fact, 1919, Adams was the only undertaker in the city of Annapolis who considered to prepare a coffin for John Snowden, the last man to be hung on Calvary Street Jail. This says a lot about the man and of itself. He cared about people and stood up for his fellow men. At a time when there was still inequality, we have learned that he was a true pioneer for equality and put money where his mouth is. This is eye-opening. We need to make this name change happen so we can keep hope alive in Annapolis. Changing our school name to J. Albert Adams Academy will honor Mr. Adams' legacy by showing respect and appreciation for everything he has done for our community. Our school would not be here standing today if he had not donated this beautiful piece of land to Anne Arundel County students to further their education. James Albert Adams deserves his legacy to be carried on by renaming the school so that no one forgets every great thing this strong-willed, kind, and generous man has done for us, our school, and our capital. Mary Moss said J. Albert Adams should be and must be renamed to be James Albert Adams Academy to honor this amazing man.